I hope you all are safe and fine at your places. Students, today we are going to start our chapter number 14 of grammar, that is the modals. Students, if I say that I can swim well, he can teach well, he may come today, what am I expressing through these sentences? My ability, possibility, may you live long, I am praying for you, I am wishing for you. So students, modals are auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary means helping verbs, and they always express the mood or the mode of the speaker, that how the person is describing, how is person on which the person is focusing. So it describes mood or mode of the speaker, and modals are auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary means helping verbs. We all know, students, that auxiliary verbs are of two types. They are divided further into two aspects: primary auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. In primary auxiliaries, students, all the forms of be, have and do are defined, and in modal auxiliaries, these are the modals which we are going to understand in this chapter, in this lecture. There are can, may, shall, will, could. Different models are there. We are going to learn the uses, and we are going to learn how they are used in the sentence also. But before understanding, before going on to the explanation which is given in your book, please make sure that you remember these 3 points. And which are these 3 points? Modals are always used with main verb. They are always used with main verb. They cannot be used alone. They work, they act as pole star. He can swim well. They can solve this puzzle. I can solve this puzzle. Irrespective whatsoever subject is there, modal is never changed like a pole star. So that's why it is said that it acts like a pole star. Third is followed by first form of the verb. This we have learnt many a times, and we know this, that after modal always first form of the verb is used. Now let's understand the different usage from your book only. Open chapter number 14, modals.
Chapter 14, Modal Verbs. Auxiliary verbs. Students, as I have already told you, that auxiliary means helping verbs. Now understand through examples. The tailor is stitching the clothes. He has done his work. Did he go there? I can do this sum. You must do this work. Students, in these sentences, in the first 3 sentences, the verb is, has, did, the forms of primary auxiliaries. Primary auxiliary means be, have, to. All the forms of be, have, to have been used, but in sentence 4 and sentence 5, auxiliaries are can and must, and they are modal auxiliaries. An auxiliary verb is a verb that helps other verbs to form tense, mood or voice. Now we have kinds of auxiliaries. There are basically two kinds of auxiliaries. First is basic or primary auxiliaries, in which all the forms of be, have and do are there, and second kind is modal auxiliaries: can, could, shall, should. may, might, need, ought to, etc. These all are modal auxiliaries. Modal auxiliaries do not have any S forms, ing forms or ed participles. What does it mean? That modal, suppose can modal is there, that will remain same irrespective whatever the subject is, whatever the tense is. Modal auxiliaries do not have any other form. Their position is same in all type of sentences. And what does modals do? They tell us about the possibility, capability, mood of the speaker. Now let's see positive and negative forms of modals. Of course, positive is can, negative is cannot. Its contracted form would be can't, shall, shall not, shalln't, should, should not, shouldn't, would not, wouldn't, and so on. This is the table where it is shown that what is the positive and negative form of modals. Further, we have usage and application of modals. Let's learn one by one. The very first is can. What is the use of can? Can is used to express ability or capacity. It is also used to seek or give permission. It shows possibility. It can be used to express one's knowledge or skill. It can be used to request for permission or to do something. How ability can be expressed? He can run fast. It's his ability, capacity. Permission, she can go now, she cannot go now. So these in permission also can is used. For possibility also, a solution can be found for this problem, that there is a possibility that we will find the solution. To express knowledge or skill, I can drive a car, I can speak English well, I can write neatly. These all are my skills. So to express skills or knowledge, can is used. Next we have it can be used to request for permission to do something. Can I read your newspaper? So for permission or request we use can. Next is could. Could is used for making polite request. It is used for asking permission. Could is used to express ability in past. It is used to indicate possibility also. It can also be used for making suggestions. And very nicely the examples have been given. Could you please lend me your pen? Of course, polite request. For permission, could I use your scooter please? To express ability but in past. He could swim when he was young. For possibility, she could arrive at any time. Possibility is there. It can also be used for making suggestion. He could write a letter to her. You could contact him on his mobile. When someone gives a suggestion, then also could is used. Students, let's understand next modal, which is may. May is used to express possibility. It's cloudy, it may rain today. I got up late in the morning, so I may be late for the meeting. Possibility is there, so may is used. It can also express purpose. What is the purpose behind an action? In that case also we use may in the sentence. He died so that we may live. May is also used to give permission. You may come with us if you wish. You may stay here if you wish. You may wait for a little more time. etc. Any example can be there. You may use my pen, you may take my notebook, etc. Any example can be there. So may is used to give permission also. It is used to express a wish. Of course, very common example. May you live long, may you prosper, may you get well soon, etc. So to express a wish, may is used. It is also used for asking permission. May I come in, ma'am? Students, remember this sentence. You used to use this model may in your daily conversation also when you ask permission. May I speak to you for a moment? May I take my notebook back? Any example can be there. Next we have might. Students, might is used to express a distant possibility. India might win the next World Cup. It's not in near future, but for a distant possibility, might is used. It is used as the past tense of may. Yes, always remember students that it is used as the past tense of may. He said that he might go by train. So, for past tense of may, might is used. It is used to ask permission. Might I use your phone? Of course, for permission also it is used. It is used to make suggestion also. You might try my phone. It is used to make a request. You might just post this letter on your way home. So, what we have learned? That might is used for distant possibility, past tense of may, ask permission, make suggestion and make a request. Might model is used. Next we have shall. Shall is, of course, we know that it expresses simple future. But let's know about the uses with second and third person first of all. Although according to the rule, shall is used with first person only, but there are certain circumstances where shall is used with second and third person also. Shall with second and third person is used to express promise, prohibition, obligation. These three are the conditions, my dear students, that shall is used with second and third person also. If someone is promising, if something has been prohibited, or any kind of obligation is there, then shall is used with second and third person. It is used to express simple future. We all know that shall plus first form of the verb is our formation for future indefinite tense, and the same is written. I shall go to school tomorrow. Tomorrow is the time which is about to come. It is in future. So shall is used for future reference. It may be used to express intention. I shall see you again on Monday. It is my intention. I want to see you on Monday. So for intention, shall is used. In question, of course, it's an auxiliary verb, helping verb. So in question, shall is used to ask the will or desire of the person addressed. Next we have will. Will is used to express intention and willingness. I will surely help you. I will meet you in the evening. This is my willingness as well as my intention that I will surely do that. In that case, will is used. I will try again if you wish. She will be in the meeting, I suppose. So will is used to express intention and willingness. It is used to express simple future. Of course, we know that in simple future, will, shall, will, either, or shall plus first form of the verb is used. Further, will is used to make polite request. Will you open the window, please? Will you get aside? Will you help me with some money? So in these all sentences, polite request is there. So will is used for polite request. It is used to make an offer or a promise. I will carry that bag for you. Offer, we will meet her at 5 p.m. It's a promise. So will is used for intention, willingness, simple future, polite request, and offer or a promise. Next model is should. Should is past tense of shall. He said that he should go and attend the function. Should is used to express duty, advice, suggestion, obligation, etc. You should respect your elders. She should consult a doctor. Advice is there. You should respect your elders. Duty is there. You should be punctual. It's a suggestion. All of us should pay our taxes. It is obligation. So, for duty, advice, suggestion, obligation, etc., should is used. It is used to express purpose. She worked hard. What is the purpose that she worked hard? Obviously, so that she should pass. For polite request also, should is used. I should be grateful for a prompt reply. Polite request, I should be grateful for a prompt reply. It is used for stating imaginary result. I should go mad if I had to spend so much money. I should get ill if I'll eat junk food. So for imaginary result also should is used. It is used for stating a decision or order also. The commander recommended that he should be dismissed. Of course, students, a decision is there, order is there. So, in that case, also should is used. So, should is used for the past of shall. It is used for duty, advice, suggestion, obligation, etc. It is used to express a purpose for polite request, imaginary result, and a decision or order. Next we have would. Students, it is used for making polite request. It can also be used for making polite request because earlier we have read that should, might, could. These models can also be used for polite request. Would you lend me your pen, please? Polite request is there. It is used for giving opinions. Opinion means what is my point. It is used for giving opinions. It would be fun to have a beach party. Would is the past tense of will. Always remember shall, should, can, could, may, might, and in the same way will, would. Would is the past tense of will. It is used to make offers. Would you like to have a cup of coffee? Would you like to prefer tea? Or any example. So to make offer, would is used. Next we have, it is used for talking about past habits. We would go there and swim in pool. It was a past habit which has been described by using would model. Next is ought. Students, ought is usually followed by to and an infinitive. That's why we generally say ought to, because it is usually followed by to. Now, what are the usage? Ought to is used for saying what is the right or sensible thing to do. You ought to get up early. What is the right or sensible thing to do? It is used to express possibility also. Our team ought to win the match. A possibility is there that the team ought to win the match. It is used to express a sense of duty. In the beginning I told you it tells us the right or sensible thing. So for sense of duty also ought to is used. You ought to respect your elders. Further we have must. Must is used to express obligation, boundation. You must be careful. You must look after your old parents. These are the obligations, and where obligations are there, must is used. It is used to express prohibition also. Prohibition means the things which we are not allowed to do. You must not smoke here. It is prohibited, so must will be used. It is used to express compulsion. You must be back by 8 o'clock. A compulsion is there, boundation is there. So in that case also must is used. It is used to indicate that something is likely or logical. How? You must be hungry after the long walk. Actually, it is logical. Of course, it happens that after a long walk, anyone can get hungry. So, you must be hungry after a long walk. A logical sense is there. So, must is used. Next is need. Of course, we know the meaning that need means requirement. And the negative form of need is need not, and contracted form is needn't. It is used in negative sentences and questions. Need is the negative form. Need in the negative form is used to express absence of necessity, absence of any requirement. You needn't finish your work today means you have some more time. You can finish it later on. So there is absence of necessity. In that case, need is used. Need is also used to express obligation. He asked whether he needs send some money. It is used with have plus past participle, means third form of the verb, to indicate that actions in the past were not necessary. You needn't have watered the plants means it was raining or it is going to rain. So you needn't have watered the plants. It is used for giving someone permission not to do something. You needn't come if you don't wish. You need not to wait there. You need not to complete your work. So, it is used for giving someone permission not to do something. Dare, courage. Dare means to have the courage to do something. It is usually used in negative and interrogative sentences. He dare not speak against me. I dare not go in the darkness. Dare she go there alone? So dare means to have courage to do something, and it is usually used in negative and interrogative sentences. Further we have used to. Used to means a past habit. It is used for habitual action but in past. There used to be a post office near my house. We used to have fun during our school days. I used to run fast when I was young. So, for habitual action in the past. He used to smoke when he was young, means not now, but when he was young, he had the habit of smoking. I used to like him, but not now. Would is commonly used in place of used to. Always remember, students, that would is commonly used in place of used to. She used to go to temple daily. Fine. But the same sentence can be written in this form also. She would go to the temple daily. Now students, in this table, clearly all the models have been given and their usage also. I would suggest you to go through this table and use the models very wisely, like can and could. Of course, there will be a difference of present and past, but they show ability. What is their function? To show ability. Could, may, might, possibility. Must not, probability or provision. May, can, could, permission. Had, better, should, ought to, advisability. Must, have to, have got to, necessity. Do not have to, must not, absence of necessity, provision, can, could, will, would, requesting assistance, would, rather, showing preference. So students, this is all about the explanation of this chapter models. Listen to the video, watch the video and understand the chapter, and on the basis of your understanding you will be doing the exercise of this chapter. Thank you and have a nice day.